Welcome back, guys, to episode number 71 of the Sweet Science podcast with your boy, Fat Mouse. That's I. Who else we got in here?
I'm Cash with a K, not C.
Fantastic stuff.
That's me.
That's him. It is him. Fresh off the back of a lovely weekend. Yeah, weather's been... Has it been rainy? The week was rainy, but the weekend was all right, actually. I'm having car problems. I had a crash today. I had a crash on Saturday. It was a little one, but I was a bit fuming about it. But we moved. That dampened my day.
Did you suffer any injuries?
Nah, no injuries. Alhamdulillah, just rage.
So all
internal and external.
All is good.
All is good always, bruv.
You're bilingual,
Always.
bro.
I'm bilateral. You get me?
I was thinking something in my head.
No, I'm not.
I wasn't going to say it out loud.
All right, boom. Here we are.
Here we are.
Tell us what going on. Why are we here?
So we're here to talk about one of the biggest fights of the year in terms of names, in terms of accomplishments.
Yeah, that's true. In terms of history, okay, fair enough.
In terms of history, but the question could be, would it be in terms of competitiveness? We had the return of the king, the return of Saul Canelo Alvarez,
the Cinnamon Man,
undisputed super middleweight world champion, going up against Texas's very own Jermell Charlo, undisputed at 154 pounds. Jermell was moving up 2 weight divisions. Big jump, 14 pounds to take on arguably the biggest fight in boxing, the toughest opponent he could get.
Yeah.
And arguably could say pound for pound number one. But that's arguable.
I mean, it's arguable, but
he's up there.
He's definitely top 3. You can't really make a case against that.
Definitely not. I don't think so.
But man, I always, this is where my heart overrides my mind. I'm always like, but what if this happens? What if it goes like that? What if Charlo is, of course he's a champion. His record is actually good. I think the 2 losses he's got, he's avenged. Yeah?
The one
loss he's got, he's avenged?
Yeah.
What else has he got?
The draw.
That's it.
And he's
The
avenged
draw,
that.
yeah, thank you. So I think jumping up was a big ask. And historically, anyone that jumps up, especially like that, not anyone, because Canelo's done it, but you know what I mean. Jumping up is not for everybody in weight classes. Definitely not 2 weight classes in one go without into such a big challenge. Do you get me? It's like it's a lot to do, and you're already on the back foot because you've not tested yourself there. Like, I'd rather, obviously this one kind of just fell in his lap, on Charlo's lap, and he just took it because it was meant for his brother and big Charlo, little Charlo. They're not Mexican. Carlos. But yeah, it was, I was like, you know what? I like this fight. But I didn't like it. Do you get me? Like, I thought, yeah, you know what? This is going to be a good fight. It wasn't a good fight. It was Canelo at his usual damn good self. I don't want to say best, but it was him at his close to best.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
But it wasn't competitive. Like you said at the beginning, it was anticipated. It was a big fight on paper. I'm about to sneeze. It was a big fight on paper. But it was a bit, I want to call it a snooze fest in the sense that Charlo just didn't do enough. I see you take a big breath, so you want to say something. I'll allow it.
I don't think it was a snooze fest because we're purists at the end of the day, aren't we? We are the sweet science, and we believe and we love the sweet science. I think it was an underwhelming performance from one half.
Well, that's what I mean, though.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like,
I think it was a good
fest. The snooze fest is quite different, but really and truly, it was a snoozy fight. Do you get it?
I get what you're saying in that sense. I liked the style. So going into it, I was excited for it. I thought that we would see the bad Charlo, you know, that he's going to talk a bit of smack. He was going to build up a bit of fire, a bit of tension before it. But hats off to him. He was respectful. He understood the assignment. And I don't think, and this is where I'm a bit confused and this is where I'm a bit lost about it, because I don't know if it's more so he respects Canelo or is it more so he's shook of that he could have got battered and they don't want to build dig a huge grave for himself.
100% is that. No professional, elite or high level boxer or fighter is going to have that much respect for an opponent where they have too much respect to even talk smack. Yeah, if you're a respectful person, you don't really ask for the fight talk, for the, you know, the smack talking kind of aspect of the thing, of the fight, of the build up. But Canelo hasn't been what he's not. He's been involved in some before. So if you draw it out of him, he'll get it. You'll get it out of him. But it wasn't. I don't think it was respect. Like, I respect him too much. He's too much of a nice guy for me to do it, to say anything. I think it was just like, listen, I think he was genuinely defeated way before he got into the ring. Way before he got into the ring. I think he gave himself a chance, but really and truly, it was just history in the sense that it was undisputed. That's one thing. Also, it was a huge opportunity. I mean, even if one of the Charlos was to get an opportunity, it was meant to be big Charlo. Do you get me? So it's like
it was too good to turn down.
100%.
Like you said, it was history. It was history in the making. On paper, it was a good fight. There's some story, you know, they both used to be Golden Boy fighters, and they kind of came up similar times, and you know they watched each other.
Very similar age. They're same
age, I think, basically. And huge payday for him. Obviously, the biggest payday he's gonna get. Payday, I know you want payday. So, you know, him taking it, there's no question about it. Whether he believed he was going to win or not, I mean, all fighters are deluded and they genuinely have some sort of belief. But like you said before, a few minutes ago, he was facing an uphill battle already. Fighting Canelo Alvarez, you're already on the back foot. Even if you're in the same division as him. So even if you are a 168 fighter, you're already going up against the best fighter in the world or the best fighter in your division. And that level isn't just, he's not just the best in that division. He's the best by a country mile. Like, there is a big gap between him and then the number one contenders, or 2, 3, whatever you want to do it. So jumping up 2 weight divisions, on top of what you said, not really testing the waters there before, not even having a fight at 160, not really understanding how big of a jump it could be, because, you know, it's always good if you sort of warm up into it. You have one fight at 168, obviously. Naturally, you know, your body feels better, you acclimatize better, you're used to it. So he was already facing a huge uphill battle. So kudos to him, because it was a big risk, but also high reward for him. And
huge reward.
I just don't think he did himself not proud, but I just feel like there was he could have done a lot more in that fight. But at the same time, Canelo did look almost to his very, very best.
No, I can't say that. I mean, he got touched a few times. Canelo got touched a few times. Like, his signature head movement, this, that, you know, the mad movement wasn't there. He just covered up a lot better. Does that make sense? As in, like, he just covered up well. Nothing was really landing apart from a few big punches. But I can't say he looked better than he's ever looked, or he's as good as he ever was. I've seen him better. But I think he was allowed to look even better than he might have against a legit 168-pounder. Do you get me? Because he wasn't, there was no threat of being hurt.
The problem is the standards are so high for him now.
Yes.
That even if he gets punched, people can't believe it. Do you know, it's mad. He's got to that point now where he is the chupacabra.
Yeah.
You know, he is that.
Mythical.
He's a mythical creature in that ring. Like, you know, you win a round against him now, you are like you're the best fighter on the planet automatically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when 𝗵𝗶𝗵 beat him, you know, although he was moving up to 𝗵𝗶𝗵's weight, that little wave that 𝗵𝗵𝗵 was riding for a little bit, and he didn't fight after that, and he hasn't fought since then, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, he has actually, sorry. He did fight against Zurdo Ramirez.
Yes.
But, you know, he went everywhere. Everyone was talking about him. He was top 5 pound for pound. He's the best in his division already. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone forgot about 𝗵𝗵𝗵, and he was just, it was 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. Because we're so used to seeing him dominate people, destroy people, be the man who is the man.
Yeah.
You know? And I think he gets unjust criticism. I think it's unfair. I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he looked terrible in the John Ryder fight. What was the fight? The 𝗵𝗵𝗵 fight. I don't think he looked that bad against 𝗵𝗵𝗵. You just bit off more than you could chew.
Yeah, he didn't look bad against 𝗵𝗵𝗵. He just got a lot of what we know him for got neutralized.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
He met someone in the 𝗵𝗵𝗵 fight. He met someone with a style which was already a problem for him at a higher weight. So it was already a double whammy.
Yeah.
You don't like the guys who stick and move and are going to jab you and move around and not chase you and stick to their game plan and not be covered up on the ropes and wait there. And then you also moving up against a much bigger guy.
Exactly.
So it was already a stylistic nightmare from the start. But, you know, one thing we know about Saul is he loves boxing.
Yeah, he loves the boxing. It is his life. I think he does put it like, he is one of the few who places that before everything. You get it? You know? And it's not just...
That's why he's there.
But that's exactly it.
And he's been there for so long.
100%. You know, 𝗵𝗵𝗵, like you said, it was just a little bit more than he can chew, and he could chew. And it was just because... the matchup wasn't great, plus the advantage of being a heavier person naturally, or a bigger person naturally, it just meant that it was a little bit too much for him. You can't take anything away from his previous fights. Yes, he's been looking a bit slower, but he's 33. He's 33 years old. Like, that's a pro for 20 years, and he's not a pro who's getting bored of it. He's not bored. You can tell he's not getting bored of it. He's got the same energy and enthusiasm in every fight. It's just, I think definitely bigger challenges, generally speaking, this is what happens with some fighters, isn't it? But bigger challenges lead to a better performance. And a smaller challenge, if you like, i.e. John Ryder. I'm not going to say Charlo was a small challenge, but in comparison to who it was supposed to be, which is, again, I keep saying Big Charlo, excuse me, it was like, this guy's coming up 2 weight classes. It's easy for me. You know what I mean? That's not how he sounds, really. But yeah, so I think
he definitely took him serious.
Of course.
And he definitely treated it like he does every fight.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like we said, he loves the sport, so he's not going to disrespect the sport.
No, he took it very serious.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like
he had a point to prove.
Yeah.
And like he said, I don't have a point to prove to the fans. I've got a point to prove to him.
Yeah.
He said about Charlo, I've got a point to prove to you because you've doubted me for so long. You've called me up for a very long... I found it very interesting that the whole press tour, the whole build-up, it was so peaceful, so relaxed. It was so nice. It was a bit too nice from Jermell. And maybe it's him maturing because he said it in a few interviews. You know, I'm not the same guy I used to be.
Yeah.
You know, he's got this weird thing with his twin brother where his brother's a bit more chaotic and causes problems. He's settled down, family man, blah, blah, blah. So obviously he's grown. But I felt like it was just a bit too nice. It was just too much sugarcoating.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of them ones where it's like, I'm just happy to be here. And I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure he went in there hoping to do something. But in the lead up, okay, he talks and he says, "Oh, you're not going to see. I'm going to show everyone." But you know, facial expressions, and I hate this. I'm not a flipping Scientologist or what they called, psychologist. I'm not going to talk about his body language and whatnot, but he did seem like he was just lacking the actual belief in himself. Do you get it? He did, and he's I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man. I'm not going to lie to you because, yeah, like I just think he was just happy to be there. He was happy to be there. He thought, I'll give it my best shot. I know Derek James, I say Derek Lewis. I know Derek James wasn't happy with that performance. He's like, I know he could have got more out of him and he could have given it more, but he was just there potentially for the payday, for the recognition, and for the puncher's chance. Maybe, do you know what I mean? I might. But he wasn't throwing anything meaningful he wasn't throwing anything meaningful a meaningful amount of times. Yeah. Do you get it? He landed some big punches. I think he landed a lovely left hook. I saw. I think at one point I was like, "Wow, it was lovely," but that was the extent of it. Like, you're meant to just don't admire your work. That's what he was saying. Don't just like, if he slips back, don't just look at him and watch him box you. Do something.
It was way
do
too far.
more.
Yeah,
and it's just easy to just say, "Oh, I missed him. I can't get him." Oh man, do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like put in that extra.
There was no urgency.
There was no urgency. There was no urgency, and not just urgency. There was no. It was a bit one-dimensional in the sense that phase one didn't work or attempt one didn't work. Therefore, I'm not going to go to number two. I'm just stop there and try number one again. Do you get it?
But this is the thing with the Charlo twins, and like I've seen it in Jermell's fights. You know, obviously the spotlight's going to be on him because he fought, but it's kind of like that in a lot of fights until he's really backed up against the wall. Like, I'll give you the Brian Castano fight, for example, the one he drew.
Yeah.
The first fight, I feel like he could have done what he did in the second fight when he stopped him in the first fight.
Yeah.
But it's just that lack of urgency throughout the fight. It's just, let me try and coast.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the superior boxer, so let me just stick to that.
Yeah. He thinks the judges are going to believe in him as much as he believes in himself.
Dude, go to the trenches. You need to fight fire with fire. You got to take that chance. And, you know, he came out with the second fight with Castano and a point to prove, and he just went out and smashed him into, like, he obliterated him, really and truly. Some moments where it was sticky, but in general, he did what he had to do in the first fight, in the second, and then came out victorious and quite comfortably and emphatically. In this one, so let's break down the fight. Let's talk about what happened. Let me explain to you the result, how it happened, and what we kind of think of it and what we thought about. And
before we do that, obviously, you know what to do, innit? We're going to like this video. We're going to comment at the bottom, anything. Just comment where you're from.
Comment Canelo.
Comment Canelo. And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you just stumbled upon this, subscribe, click on the bell. Muchas gracias, cabrones.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thanks.
Muy bien. Canelo Alvarez essentially dominated the fight, won practically every round on all the judges' scorecards, and walked away with a unanimous decision victory to stay undisputed at 168 pounds. Jermell Charlo really never got going, really never got a foothold, never really got any sort of momentum. There were a few moments in between, like Mouse had previously said, where he landed a few nice shots, but there was a lack of urgency from Jermell. There was a lack of, dare I say, hunger from Jermell.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, I was saying to you, when I saw him walking out, when I saw him touching gloves, he looked nervous. He looked like he was scared.
Yep.
Maybe I'm seeing things, maybe I'm crazy, but that's what I saw. I'm not a body language expert. I don't read facial expressions.
You're not a Scientologist either? That's mad.
I'm a gynecologist. But just from, I'm going off of past experiences. I've watched the past, can't remember how many Charlo fights, and he's never looked the way he did in this fight, pre and even post. It was sort of like, as soon as the 12th round finished, it was a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah,
I made it.
Yeah,
I survived. I've done the 12 rounds. That's my win. And, well, yeah, like, you know, you are the lighter man. You did move up 2 divisions. Guys in 168, Kovalev 175, have been stopped by him. So, you know, if you want to take some solace from it, you can take that. But, again, you're undisputed, you know. This is Lions only, you know. This is, you know, you did say previously, there was a clip up on Twitter, I don't know if you saw it, someone tweeted it out where you said the Canelo looks slow, I can beat this Canelo. You know, there was a lot of smack talk happening then.
Man.
You know, I know you like a bit of a drink and that, and maybe you were a bit juiced when you said it, but keep that same energy. Keep that same
It's
energy.
weird because he looked slower. He looked like his unusual. Like he looked.
He didn't look explosive.
He didn't look explosive.
But again, like you said, you're going from 154 to 168 quite quickly.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm
it
saying.
wasn't
You're
a
not
huge.
used to it.
You're not used to it. It wasn't a huge sort of time in between to build up to the weight. And then you're not going up against a regular or a standard bog standard 168. You're going up against the best fighter, arguably, of this generation.
Yeah.
In his comfortable weight. So, you know, he did look off. But again, I don't even know if he looked that off. I just think Canelo is just much better than him. I think if they fought at 160, they fought at 154, they fought at any division that they could make without dying.
Yeah.
Canelo would do the same thing.
154 might be different. He might be a bit more comfortable. He might have a better. He might do a bit better. But
he might do a bit better.
He
might. But
it wasn't a very close matchup in terms of ability, unfortunately.
No.
And I think, generally speaking, when you move up like that, it's one of two reasons, right? It's either I can't think of a good boxing example, so I'm gonna have to go to the UFC. But when Izzy moved up and lost, when he moved up to light heavy and he fought against 𝗵𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗁, he lost, but he chose to move up. He chose to move up because he wanted to prove this is not just me dominating my division. I can do this where I want, kind of thing, within reason. And he was proven wrong. But that was a legitimate, like, daring to be great. This one just fell on his lap. They just said, do you want to move up and fight?
I didn't think of it like that.
Your brother can't do it. So
it's actually,
you're going to do it.
I really do like that. That's a very good point. I didn't.
It's not like I was going to say Amir Khan, and I think maybe Amir Khan might have at least a little bit more tried to be great and tried to move up. But really and truly,
I got love for that guy, but that guy was
well.
desperate for a big fight.
Yeah, exactly.
It got to the point where Manny and Floyd had literally used him and abused him.
Yeah.
That he said he would have fought he would have gone up to fight Mark Henry or something in WWE or something for a big fight.
This is what I'm trying to say.
But I do get what you're saying. There was still that daring to be great.
Yeah,
because
that was a legitimate one.
I think he is very deluded, but he genuinely thought he'd beat him.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Virgil told him not to take that fight. Remember, Virgil was like, "I really not against." Virgil knew what was going to happen.
Honest, exactly.
Virgil knew that if he could survive 12, amazing. But the chances were 99.9% he was going to get iced, and he did.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gobsmacked that you.
It's true, though, isn't it?
No, but it's very smart. I'm a
smart guy.
I'm happy that you've beaten me finally, because it's a mad thing. It's thing. He said, "I'm daring to be great," but really and truly, you didn't ask for the fight.
Yeah, no.
Like he might have behind those doors, but
years ago he's calling them out. There were similar weight divisions.
Similar weight, it's just it kind of fell in your
This one just fell on your lap, and you said, "Boom, baby," and it's literally that. It's not me. I'm not gonna say it like Demetrius Andrade, where it's like I'm just gonna keep calling him out, He probably thinks he can do it as well, but just keep calling him out because I know that is a fight that's gonna make me money. Do you get it? It's more. He called him out in the past when it made a bit more sense.
It did.
You know?
I think it made a lot more sense before.
Yeah, of course.
The only reason it was a bit... I think the only reason it didn't get questioned as much now is because they were both undisputed.
Yeah. If
Jermell Charlo was not undisputed champion, even if he was unified champion...
out the window, mate.
Yeah, they would have been like, bro, are you insane? You're fighting Jermell Charlo, 154. When Canelo was at 160, made perfect sense.
Yeah, there was already a bit of, not criticism, but a bit of like... Really, like, again, Jermell, do you get me?
But it had been spoke about for years. Charlo's, both of them, and Canelo, the names had been linked for years.
That's the problem, is because there's two of them in it. So you can pick and choose which one you want at the time.
But even then, though, they were both like, for a long time, it was always, when Canelo was going through that sort of phase of who else to fight.
Yeah.
Because I've beaten everybody in and around me. Yeah. Charlo's always came up because it was always like, when are they going to get their big fight?
Yeah.
Because they've always been on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? They've always been that 𝗷𝗽𝗓 guy.
Yeah.
Both of them who have just been winning titles, been going about their business, draw good numbers.
Yeah.
But they haven't had that big one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they haven't had that marquee name on their record.
Exactly.
But they've done everything else. it was like Danny Jacobs when he got that breakthrough fight against 𝗕𝗄𝗄𝗓.
Yeah.
Beat him in the first round. Everyone went crazy. And then he moved on to that upper level because he'd been doing the same thing the Charlos had been doing. And then he started touching M's.
Yeah.
You ain't touched M's yet. You got the 𝗔𝗔 fight. You got the Canelo fight. And then kind of sort of rode off into the sunset.
Yeah. I don't want to stop your thing. But who else says 𝗔𝗔? Because it sounds so weird.
No one. Do they?
It's triple G.
Triple G. I don't know why I said 𝗔𝗔.
𝗔𝗔 just doesn't make sense. But then again, whatever in it, it's just what.
No, it just came to my head.
It didn't sound right to me.
It didn't. It's like, even when I said it. 𝗔𝗔.
But yeah, man, again, he took the opportunity. Obviously, gave it his shot. I'm not going to say he gave it his best shot because he didn't. Like he said, happy to survive it. That was his win. Him not getting knocked out cold was his win. Not getting embarrassed. First time he's touched the canvas.
Second,
sorry, yeah. Second time he's touched the canvas.
First time he said he's really been stung and hurt. So in the post-fight press conference, they asked him about the knockkout in the 7th round. So Canelo came with a beautiful right straight down the pipe. Not even like straight. It was kind of like it was an overhand, but which went through
a little bit to make it look like it was going to come wide.
And then he came in
on the side. Yeah, it looked like a hook, but then it landed nice and
he stung him. He didn't get knocked down. He took a knee.
Yeah, it was almost like a body shot in his head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That delayed reaction.
Delayed reaction. Like,
but he buzzed me.
Very smart. And I was like, straight away, I was like, he knows what he's doing. He's been in there. Because most fighters would have tried to fight on and probably got starched or got really badly hurt. He said, you know what? Ban this. He felt it straight away and said, ban that. I am not doing a 𝗧𝗓 plant right now.
Yeah.
I'm going, let me just take a knee quickly. Try and get 9 seconds out of it and see what I can do. And he managed to actually survive. And
turned it around almost. Yeah,
he did.
He turned it up, let's say, not around because you can't, not a 10-8 like that.
Yeah.
But he turned it up and tried to win back that round. And actually, it wasn't a terrible effort, but obviously.
No, he did well to get out of that round. But he said, post-fight, he said that I didn't want to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because, and it's nothing. I'm not criticizing him. It's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You're in it to win it. And if it means take a knee, take 2 knees, but you get up and potentially 100%. Win the fight, take 20 knees.
Yeah, 100%. It's not about the route. It's about the destination in it. So if it led to a win, boom. But again, it didn't lead to a win. It didn't lead to a particularly great performance from him. But it just was. It was what it was, innit? It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't great.
You just look at the record, you look at the resume, and it just, for Charlo anyway, 12 rounds, lost the points decision to Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight divisions.
Yeah.
You get a pat on the back.
Yeah.
No one really questions you or doubts you. Like, more time anyone fighting Canelo is already going to lose anyway. So
this is exactly it.
If you don't get knocked out, you kind of won.
It's crazy, innit? That is where we are right now in the landscape, is that if you get to fight Canelo, that is already your W. Now just take the loss. you get it?
You're going in expecting to lose.
Which is why the Bivol fight was such a big, massive shock. And why anyone that does okay, even if we go back to Amir Khan again or Amir Khan, he had a good few rounds at the beginning. I was like, I remember we were watching this years ago together, and I was like, right, he might have this, and then obviously, boom, everything changes. 𝗧𝗓 plant, I'm doing all right, huh? I'm not too bad. You're not too bad, but you're not me. Do you get it? Canelo, not me. So it's just like, the opportunity to fight Canelo is the red panty night. And it's not just in terms of the payday, but it's like the recognition as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And that is a shame, because is that how far ahead he is still? Do you get me?
And it's crazy to think that he's slowed down.
Yeah.
He's not the same. Yeah. He's not as great. These guys are deluded. Whoever thinks that is deluded, you lot are crazy. You clearly don't watch boxing, because first of all, I get really annoyed when people say he ducks fighters or he cherry picks. He wiped out a whole division in 1 year. Do you not understand how mad that is? That he came to the division at 168 and took out every champion back to back.
Everyone that was worth taking out. It's true. Crazy.
But he ducks everyone. He fought every champion there is in the division.
It doesn't matter.
You're a champion. I am coming to fight you.
He came for the belt. That's what he's following. That's what he's chasing. Do you get me?
But then on his side quests, he's doing up Triple G's. He's doing up Danny Jacobs. He's doing up big fights. He's doing up bivels. But yeah, all right, cool. He didn't get John Ryder out of there, so he's lost it. He's terrible. All right, he might have not looked as brilliant as he always did, but Floyd didn't always look A-star.
You can't always have 100%
Manny didn't always look A-star.
Styles make fights. He gets the W. He wins. Yes, it doesn't just matter if you win. It matters how you look when you win. But again, I just think it's a case of I will rise to just where I need to. You get it? I will just be better than Smith, or just be better than the other British fellow, Ryder, or just be better than Billy Joe, Kovalev, or Billy Joe. And then, but really and truly, it's not just be better. Like, no, Billy Joe was a challenge in the sense that
he knew it was.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why he performed levels above and stopped him easily, made him quit essentially.
Even with the Callum Smith fight, Callum Smith was running. He had this big wave and he was knocking people out and he was looking dangerous. He's a huge 168 fighter.
Yeah,
man, that's why he's fighting at light heavyweight now. And Canelo went in there and dog walked him, bro. He dog walked him. He said, "You know what? I'm taking away your asset." He popped his arm like. But remember the big
destroyed.
He started punching his arm, hooking his arm.
That's one of his signature.
And he was doing it here today. Yeah. But listen, with this one with Charlo, like you said, styles make fights, but then also forget styles making fights. There's also the fighter that you're in there against, who also might adopt a different style, which you have to adapt to on the fly. I'm not saying Charlo did. Yeah. I'm saying Charlo was very defensive.
Yeah.
Almost more defensive than I've ever seen him. Yeah. Which means
he was tentative.
Canelo's got to walk him down. Yeah. Canelo's got to find a way through the guard. Canelo's got to find a way to stop him.
And he did.
And he didn't stop him,
no, he
found a way to beat him. Yeah. And he did exactly what he needed to do. He walked him down. No issues with stamina.
I don't think there can be any criticism.
No fatigue. He carried on. He walked him down for every second of every round, for every minute.
Yep.
Non-stop. He pushed for a knockout. Sometimes you're just not going to get it. It doesn't matter how hard you try, how hard you hit. Sometimes if the guy doesn't want to go down, or you can't breach the defenses consistently enough, it's just not going to happen. Doesn't mean you didn't dominate the fight. And he said it post-fight as well, like straight away to Jimmy Lennon Jr. Are you disappointed that you didn't get the knockout? No, because I have 12 rounds. That's what the 12 rounds are for. Yeah. To prove to you I am the better fighter.
Yeah.
Because some people can always say, "Oh, it was a flash knockout."
Yeah.
Or he got lucky, or you caught me cold, all that nonsense. But if someone dominates you for 12 rounds, there's no disputing who is the better fighter.
Yes, that's right.
Because you've got 36 minutes to prove you're the better man. And he did it really for 35 minutes of that.
Yeah.
1 minute of that fight broken up into 12 rounds. Punches here and there, a few combinations and whatnot. But Charlo really and truly, from the beginning, was really in survival mode.
Yeah.
Again, everyone loves a fairy tale. We all believe that sometimes these guys can go in there, move up a couple divisions and be Manny Pacquiao's. But, there's a difference between a very good fighter and an elite fighter. And we saw that today. Charlo is a very, very good fighter. At 154, he's probably the best, and he will be.
Yeah.
But, there's a reason why Canelo is king.
Yeah, I can't disagree, man. I mean, I don't see who would disagree. If you're gonna say, he's getting slower, all right, cool. Even if you're right,
I know someone who would disagree.
Who's that?
I know two people who may disagree.
All right.
I think David Benavidez would
100%.
disagree, and I think Terence Bud Crawford would disagree.
But I wonder,
two different fights.
Yeah, very different.
Two crazily different styles.
Yeah,
but two very, very tough challenges. Arguably the toughest challenges he's got.
No doubt. The only fights, again, worth seeing. The only fights worth seeing. And to be honest, I wonder how much longer Canelo's got in his career.
I think he can go till he's 40.
I don't think he want to go for another 7 years, bruv.
He loves boxing.
That's true. That's very true. I'd rather see David Benavidez against Canelo over Bud right now. And then we can see Bud straight after that. I don't know if I want to see Big Charlo. Just because...
Nah, I don't. I don't want to see it.
I don't really think there's.
I wouldn't
anything else.
mind
It's just
it.
those two fights.
I wouldn't mind seeing
For
him
his
fight
brother's
Jermell.
sake.
I wouldn't mind him fighting Jermell. Not even for his brother's sake. I just wouldn't mind it because, again, it's a different face.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a different face. It's the same face.
Yeah,
But it's a different.
it's a different fight.
It's a different fight.
Yeah,
Different mentality. You know, maybe the 6 pound difference from 154 to 160.
yeah.
You know, moving up then 8 pounds instead of 14 could make a difference. But you know, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but it's definitely not what I want to see next. I think just make Bud. I think make
Why
Bud
not
Crawford.
Because Benavidez has been in the queue for longer.
Sometimes you just got to say fuck the queue.
Fair point.
Fuck you.
But why?
There's no better time now.
It's true. It's true. Both are very hot right now.
If
Both have just
the clout, they both got the clout.
Yeah,
Listen, Crawford's never going to have more clout than he does right now.
That's true.
Because even if he goes in a rematch with 𝗷𝗚𝗫𝗍 and does the same thing, it's not really going to change anything. Right now, everyone wants to see Bud back in there. Doesn't matter who he fights, they want to watch it. If you put him up against Canelo Alvarez, that is the fight of the generation.
I do agree, I do agree.
That gives you the best fighter of this generation.
Yeah.
Of course, David Benavidez has been in the queue for a long time. If you ask me who deserves it more,
draw, though. It's not as big a draw.
Benavidez deserves it more.
Yeah, no doubt.
Of course.
No doubt. But we're talking as fans, innit?
But I want to see him fight Bud. I want to see him fight Bud because then I think he can. I think the Benavidez fight will always be there just because it's the mano a mano Mexican style.
Yeah,
you could have it Cinco de Mayo. You could have it on the Mexican holiday in September. You can. There's many things you could do with that. Whereas Bud is a bit different because of the timings of it, and it's just.
I agree there.
Right now is just the best time to make it because if he does move up and he fights someone and it's a banana skin and he slips up at someone again, Jermell Charlo called him out, for example. I don't think Jermell Charlo beats Crawford at 154. I think Crawford destroys him. But, if he did, you lose the mystique of that Crawford.
100%. I agree. I agree.
If Canelo didn't lose to 𝗵𝗶𝗵 and he stayed undefeated since Mayweather, and then Crawford, as Crawford now, that fight is insane.
But it's still insane because it's a
still
very different
huge.
fight. The 𝗵𝗶𝗵 thing doesn't really affect that fight.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But for the casuals,
Oh, he's lost.
Just to say, he
enough.
hasn't lost since he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Like it's mad. Like when I watch fights with casual friends and they see an O on someo's record, he could be pants, bro.
Yeah,
he could be so dead. But they see a 0 and they.
He's never lost, man.
He's got 14 knockouts and 14 wins. Bro, he must be an animal.
Special education.
I think both are tough fights. I think both could potentially beat him. But I think it's crazy to think because Benavidez is a huge 168er.
Yeah.
And Crawford's a 147 fighter.
Yeah, this is the thing.
But I think Crawford stands a better chance of beating Canelo.
I think Benavidez stands a better chance, man.
I don't.
I do, man. I do, and I
think a lot of people disagree with me and agree with you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't even agree with that one.
Do you know why I say this?
Say he ain't got a chance. Bud always has a chance. Always has a chance, and he's just that good.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to bite off, bro. If they do it at 168, is that where it's gonna be?
Probably, yeah.
That's a big. Again, what do we talk about jumping up that much?
21 pounds,
bruv. Do you know how much that is? It's 21 pounds.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose it.
Yeah,
you get me?
You don't want to lose. No, but do you know what I think? Yeah. I think Benavidez's style is far better suited to Canelo.
That's a fair point.
Than Bud's, and that's the only reason. Forget the weight. I think Bud isn't. To be honest, I think Bud could make 168. I'm not saying he's going to be a big 168.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to be big to beat Canelo.
You don't need to be big. It's not about big.
I think you just need to be able to move, stay away, and stay disciplined.
No. I don't think you need to move, stay away. You need to walk him down, take what he's going to give, and just keep pressuring him. That's what he can't deal with, not moving away.
I don't think so.
This is why Benavidez has a better chance.
I think
this is why he's more likely to.
Benavidez hits hard and he's rangy. But I think Canelo would find a way to eventually get to him. I'm not saying he'd stop him, but I think over the course of 12 rounds,
he'll work something out.
I think he'd get a 7-5. Whereas in a Crawford fight, apart from maybe knocking him down or knocking him out, I can see a 7-5 for Crawford.
When you're jumping up 21 pounds, then obviously that's a big threat, though.
Of course, no. Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. But again, you can't knock someone out you can't touch. And Crawford's defense is very, very good. Yeah. And like, you know, so we can go back to 𝗕𝗄𝗅, for example. Yeah. First 4 rounds, I'm not saying he's Crawford. Crawford's different style completely. Yeah. But again, Canelo, as good as his hands are and as good as his head movement, them feet are still slow. Yeah. Them feet are still stuck in the mud a little bit. And if it's not a guy who you could, and if it's not a guy he's walking down, which I think he can walk Benavidez down, but then also Benavidez is going to meet him. Yeah. I don't think Crawford's going to try and stand there with him. He ain't going to do what he did with, he ain't going to do what he did with Spence.
He can't do what he did. If he does what he did with Spence, he's leaving in a stretcher, bro. Stretcher. But if, man, I don't know. I think that big jump there, that weight jump is a lot, and that's a big thing. And to be honest, what you said about him, his feet stuck in the mud, he seemed a lot less like that this fight round as well.
He did. No, he did. No, I noticed
it. Did you see? There was one or two, like, but there was a couple times I was like, "Rah, that's."
He was moving. Again, I'm his biggest fan. I'm a fanboy. Fanboy. He got his t-shirt. Got everything. Literally. But was he moving or was he just walking him down but bouncing?
No.
He was walking him down and skipping,
back. I saw him like a nice little jump back.
No, man, he does.
Nah, man. I think
he did look a bit. He looked more energetic. He looked a bit
confidence. It was just knowing that.
I got you. Later on. I got you. Yeah. He was thinking to himself, you know what?
This is mine, man.
He tasted Charlo's power and he said, you know what? I've got this. You know, you ain't getting knocked out by 𝗕𝗄𝗄, then you ain't getting knocked out.
Hell, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we disagreed on that because I gave both to 𝗕𝗄𝗄.
The first two, yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't, innit?
No.
Did you do
I had Canelo winning both from what I saw.
Deluded, bruv.
I could have given one a draw, but I definitely had Canelo winning the second fight.
I had
the first fight was very close.
The second fight, without doubt. First one was very close, and that's why I wasn't mad at the result.
So you had it the other way around. I had the first fight very close, and I had Canelo winning. Canelo walked him down the whole second fight. I've never seen 𝗕𝗄𝗄 be walked down in my life, bro. And this was when he wasn't on the horse meat.
𝗕𝗄𝗄 was just
and Canelo was not on the horse meat.
Hero, blood.
That beautiful horse meat.
National hero.
He's not a cheater. I do not care what anyone tells me. Comments come at me. Saul Canelo Alvarez is the best fighter on the planet. At me. Fanboy. Say something. Yeah, fanboy, fan what? He's proven it. He's beaten everybody. Except Bivol. And Mayweather. But he's done it all. And what are you going to tell me? He slowed down. Turned professional at 15.
Mad.
Back to back. Big fight after big fight after big fight. Ticking off names. Kicking ass. Making money, doing the whole shebang. And you lot have the cheek to question the king. Do I sound like a fanboy? Absolutely. You
sound like the biggest fanboy.
But I give respect where respect is. Is it brown?
Right, it's brown.
Let me clean that.
Boots as well, it stinks.
It smells like Mexican horse meat. Deal with that. Deal with it. Sleep him then if he's not good enough. If he's slowed down, beat him. You ain't beating him. Saul Canelo Alvarez, King Cabrones. Sorry, I just had to do it, man. I just had enough, bro.
It's alright. The guy is the biggest. He's actually got a pink t-shirt. He's got a pink Canelo t-shirt.
I actually don't.
Like a big.
I really don't. It's a black and gold one, but
no, you got a pink. Who's the pink?
That's the 𝗏𝗏 one.
Ah, you're right. You're lucky, blood. He's got a pink 𝗏𝗏 one. This guy's just a fan.
I love the sport. I love the sport of boxing.
It's true.
And you have to respect what he does. He is so good, bro. It's insane. How do you lose to someone and then basically mimic everything he did, but then also do it with 10 times more power and more scary?
Yeah, that's mad. That is mad. You're just as evasive almost just as evasive as him, but you can dead someone. Wow. Guys, I think he might have made a case. I do want to see. It does make sense to see Bud next, and then Benavidez. I'm not going to agree with you, Cash, when you say Bud has a better chance. They both have a chance. It's too early to make predictions.
I think they are the two most dangerous fights for him.
100%.
Yeah.
But that being said,
in between 147 and 168. You got up to 175, different ball game.
Of course.
But, you know,
yeah,
like,
in between.
no one at 147 gives him a challenge except Bud.
Nobody.
And then 154, 160, 168, no one except really David Benavidez.
Yep. I think that's it. I think those are the two fights we need to see. I doubt we will see them back to back. I doubt we will see them next. I don't know. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what this has been. It's been the Sweet Science Podcast.
It has.
I've been Fat Mouse.
He has.
I have.
I've been Cash with a K, not a C.
He's been Cash with a K, not a C, just because I spoke over him there. So I'll repeat it for him.
Oh, I have. I mean, I am.
He is.
You did.
We are.
You are.
Yeah.
Loa. I need to stop waffling now, but yeah.
I do need to stop waffling, but the problem is...
I'm waffling, you're right.
But I think we both are, really. And when you think about it, it's like, no, but like, you know, if you like to talk, right? You're a waffler. But what happens then, right? When you go to the toaster, you hit the cancel button, and what jumps out isn't a waffle, and instead it's a pancake. It's a bit of a mad one, but because you've got a problem. Do you get it? And then do you now have it with maple syrup, or do you have it with Belgian chocolate? You get it? Because I have this sort of predicament quite regularly, because when I put my bagel in the fridge and it comes out hot, I'm mind blown. You see what I mean? You're right there. Guys, it's been
a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, man. We'll see you guys. See you guys soon.
Adios. Hi guys, it's Cash with a K, not C. From the Sweet Science Podcast. I'm moving around on the chair. Just wanted to say thank you for watching the video. If you liked, make sure to comment, like, subscribe. This is the channel. He's the man. We've been the Sweet Science Podcast.